Good afternoon, everybody. Colin here with Techout, and today we're going to be unboxing the Alta Labs S24 POE switch. This is a 24 port, of course, POE, like I said, switch with two SFP Plus ports. I want to thank Alta Labs for sending this out. They did send me some access points back in September, and we had discussed this, and they said they would send me a switch, and they were just waiting on the inventory. And that time has finally come, so we're going to go ahead and unbox this thing. I'm going to put it in my rack and get it all set up. I love their access points. I have switched over all my stuff from Ubiquiti to Alta Labs, and then for my router I am using a OpenSense box. So looks like this might be backwards. I mean, I know it's backwards for you guys just so I can pull it out because I'm on my desk here and it's not the biggest space for unboxing stuff like this. So I'm going to do the best I can here. So right here we have a small little box with some, it sounds like probably mounting stuff and the power cable. And just like their, actually I'll show you guys this in a second. I'm gonna finish pulling the switch out here and get the box out of the way. Alright, so it looks like it was indeed upside down. There's nothing else in the box, so I'm just gonna drop it off the end of the desk there and get rid of this foam. Very, very nice packaging. This thing is not going to get damaged in shipping whatsoever. Alright, so that is the back, that is the front. I'm going to leave that little wrapper on there for a second, and we're going to go back to our little accessory box here. So first thing we have here is your power cable, just your standard power cable. I've already got one of these in my rack for my other switch, so I'm just going to unplug that switch and use that cable instead of having to route a new one through. Quick setup guide with the QR code, which takes you to that guide online. Right here we have our mounting hardware. Now the cool thing about this is it does come with rack studs. So instead of having to use those annoying cage nuts and screw it in, it does come with rack studs, which are a product that you can buy individually from Rack Studs. It's a company, and Alta Labs has purchased their product to include with this, which is very, very nice to see them including something like that. And then we have the rack mount ears right here. I'm going to install these on the switch here in a second before I go put it in the rack. I'm not going to record putting it in the rack just because it's just going to slide in and I'm going to plug all my stuff in. However, I will show you guys the switch here real quick. And then I will be showing you guys the process of setting it up on the web interface once I have it powered up and everything. So we're going to do that. Alright, so that's the bottom. Right here, here is the front. Very, very nice 24 ports right there, of course, all gigabit. And then we have two SFP Plus ports right here, which I will be using one of those for my router connection because I do have 2.5 I have 2 gigabit internet, so I need that faster connection. And then over here we just have a little logo. It does light up. You can customize the color of that light in the software. I'll show you guys that when we set it up. But I'm going to screw on the little screw on the little rack ears real quick, and then I'm going to go slide it into my rack, and I will come back and show you guys the web interface and the setup process for that as soon as it's powered up. Alright, so we got the switch installed in the rack. That was uneventful. I just popped it in, plugged my stuff back in, and it was ready to go. So as you can see here, we are on the Alta Labs management interface here on the web manager. So I haven't done anything yet. I've just clicked on it and opened it like this, and the switch automatically pops up here. If you are using a VPN, make sure you turn that off for this setup because it could affect the new devices showing up because it won't realize that you're on the same network. So make sure you turn that off if you have any issues with that. I remember having issues with that when I was setting up my APs, but I'm not using a VPN and it popped right up. So we're gonna click setup right here, and it is going to go ahead and connect here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and refresh the page after I do that, because it's going to say disconnected here for a second as it adds everything to my network. So we're just going to give this a second here. Let me just refresh it again, see if it pops up yet. Not yet. We should be able to go ahead and name it. So I'm just going to call it switch. And as you can see, here's the ports and the settings and everything over here. We're just going to give it a IP address real quick. Static IP address, let's see, go 5. And you can enable or disable the link lights, which I'll show you in another video. They are actually quite bright, so you may want to turn those off if you are not using them for any kind of like diagnostic purposes or anything like that. And then you can change the colors of the or the color of the LED. I think we'll do red right now, just cause. Go ahead and click save on that. As you can see, it did pop up here. Nope, sorry, that's the access point. All right, so it should have saved. All right, it is connected though. We do have the IP. We've got the load level right here. Obviously, we're not going to have Wi-Fi symbols because it's just a switch. And there is an update available, so we're going to go ahead and update that right now. And we may lose the connection temporarily to the management interface here because of the fact this computer is connected to this switch. It probably is updating. It usually says that when it loses the connection. So we're going to give it a second here. Let me just see if we can refresh. It does say it's connected, so it looks like it's probably restarting because it just says connected. It lost its little graph here. Let's see if we have any ports yet. Not yet. So we'll wait for this to come back online here for a second. Like I said, it's probably applying that update. Let's see, let's just make sure it, oh nope, I gotta click it after the update downloaded. All right, we're gonna give it a second here because I'm pretty sure it is updating, so. Yep, I think it just restarted because it doesn't have the update symbol there anymore. And it says disconnected. Obviously, we still have some kind of basic connection here because I can still see my access points and their activity and stuff like that, and I'm still connected to the internet here. I don't know if it's the same for the switch as it is the access points, but a lot of the Alta Labs stuff will not fully lose its connection during an update, which is nice. Sometimes the APs have to reboot, but a lot of the settings and stuff you can mess with and stuff like that without them actually having to fully drop the connection. Let's see, so we're just waiting on that to reconnect itself. So I'm gonna let this finish updating and then I will come back and we'll look at some of the settings and stuff like that. All right, so I got it all set up and updated here. I'm not entirely sure what was going on. I thought it was the update that was causing the switch to go offline. It was not. The switch updated just fine. But for some reason, when I changed it to a static connection, which is what all my access points are on, I literally had the exact same settings that I do here. and for some reason that would cause it to go offline. So I don't know if that was a bug in the previous version or whatnot, but I'm just going to leave it on DHCP for the time being, just to show you guys what we got going on here. So I just updated it. We got some new features after the update that have just popped up. We got the temperature right here that's popped up, as well as the ports are now showing the devices. So you can see I have my 3 APs right here. It is showing a little icon for those, and then it shows the MAC address for the other ones. You can see we still have a UAP AC light plugged in on here. That's the one down in the garage that I still have yet to go down and remove. So that is actually still connected to this. I need to go down there and put my other Alta Labs AP down there, but I just haven't done that yet. So you can see here on the POE ports, the ones that are actually using POE, you do have a power cycle option right here, as well as it shows your live POE voltage and your wattage right there. So you can see how much your POE devices are using, and you can power cycle them if need be. So that's pretty nice. Got your settings right here. Again, that's just going to be your link lights, your LEDs, so you can turn these on or off or leave it on default, which if you have it on default, that just applies the site settings. So if you have more than one switch, you can just, say they're all off or say they're all on, or you can do it per switch, whatever you want to do. We're going to set this back to red because that looked cool. We're going to rename it again because I factory reset it trying to troubleshoot that issue with the connection, but everything is working fine now. Let me click on this again and bring this back up. I didn't show you guys the other port settings here, so we'll just go to this port right here. There's nothing plugged into it or active at the moment. So you can name the port. So if you have specific names, you want to name something, or specific wall jacks or whatever they go to, you can name them here. You can choose what mode they're on: standard 802.1x, disabled. You can mirror another port, or you can combine using lag on the port. So if I wanted to combine, port 5 with ports, whatever port this is, port 2, I can, go down here. Those are both disconnected, so I'll just go ahead and do that real quick, and we'll see if it shows anything different. It should show, I think there's a little icon right here. Yeah, you can see there's a little link right there. I don't think I can make this bigger, but you got a little legend right there. You can see lag combined or aggregated is the little like chain link looking thing, which you can see is right down here in the corner. It's kind of hard to see, but it is there. You can see the ones where the POE is active, and you can see just some other stuff right there. But so if I open up the settings for port number 2, it's not combined, it doesn't show combined with anything. I guess we can put 5 here, and it would probably do the same thing. I don't think that should change anything. I don't think you have to enable that on both of them, just because it knows already. You can see here that it is combined with port 5, or port 5 is combined with port 2, and if we deselect that, you can see that goes away. So that's how that works. I might try that a little later on. I can actually connect the other SFP port and combine the 2 SFP ports into one and use lag on my router, but I don't have another SFP to RJ45 at the moment, so I haven't messed with that. But might try that later on and see how that works. But here is the switch. It's working great. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it other than that one thing where I tried to set the static IP and it took the switch offline from the management network. Everything else was still working though, and there were actually still some times where I could change the IP back to DHCP and it would come back online, and then it kind of just stopped. So I just factory reset and left that alone for now. I did just do the update, so I'm going to play around with it after this and see if that happens again, and see if I can figure out what's going on. It may not have anything to do with the switch. It may be my DHCP configuration on the router. I do have 192.168.1.1 through .10 off DHCP for static IP addresses, because that's what I put my, I got my 1 AP on 2, 3, and 4. So I tried to put the switch on 5, and I tried 6 as well, and neither one of those were working. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I'll have to try that again and play around with that. But for now, the switch is set up and working, and I will have some more videos on this a little later on. Like I said, I'm going to mess around with it and stuff like that. This is just the initial setup and stuff like that for the new Alta Labs 24-port POE switch with 10 gigabit SFP plus 2 of those. So Very, very nice switch. It is quiet. It does have 2 fans in it, but it does run very quiet. It's not any louder than the fans that are already in my network rack, so it doesn't really add to the noise or anything like that. But really enjoying this. Thank you to Alta Labs for sending that out. I do look forward to trying out more of their products in the future. They do have some other stuff coming in the pipeline. So really looking forward to messing around with their gear because I really do like the way it works. It's very, very functional and it works very well. Alright guys, I've got the lights off here. I just want to show you what this kind of looks like here in the rack. So you can see I have this set to red like I set it up in the software. And then these are all the activity lights. So got the 10100 connections in orange here. And then the blue on the left is gigabit with the orange on the right being, that is a POE port. Those are my access points. And then we have the link activity lights over here for the SFP Plus port, which is what my router's plugged into. So there we go, that's what it looks like. The software update definitely fixed some of these issues. These activity lights were not working before when I had it on the software out of the box. And once I upgraded it, those started working, as well as the static connection. I was able to set that back up without any issues. Everything is now working perfectly fine. So as you can see here, we do have a 2.5 gigabit connection on my modem, or my router right there rather. So everything is working as expected, and everything is very, very nice. Love this switch. As you can hear, very quiet. Most of that noise is the fan and the actual rack. You can't actually hear the switch over that once it's powered up and the fans spin down. So running very cool, no issues there. I'm Colin with Techout. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and as always, have a great day.